Hello, my dearest students. Welcome back in online study. In this video lecture, we will learn Chapter 3 Separation of Substances. In previous video lecture, you learn Separation of Substances chapter explanation. And in this video, you will learn exercise part. In that, you will learn objective type questions, very short question answer and long question answer. So, objective type question answer like MCQs, fill-ups, true false, give one word, two examples, you can write in textbook, places is already given. And very short question answer and long question answer you have to write in your fair book. Before writing very short and long, you have to write key terms, which is uploaded in PDF form in our group. In question, write down with black pen and show the answer with blue pen, and write the answer point wise as I am showing in this. Let's start the questions. That is question number 1. Fill in the blanks. Threshing involves beating the harvested crop to separate the grains. Sieving is used for separating two substances with different size. Condensation is opposite to evaporation, and evaporation is opposite to condensation. In evaporation, liquid changes into gas, and in condensation, gas changes into liquid. For filtration, the particles of the insoluble solid should be bigger than the holes in the filtering device. The solubility of a solute can be increased by heating the solution. Sugar dissolves faster when the solution is stirred. So these are fill-ups. Let's go to the next question, that is match the following. Supernatant, liquid above sediments, and sediments, solid particles that settle down. Evaporation, liquid changes into gas. Solute, substances that dissolves like sugar and salt. Winnowing, separating grains from chaff by wind or blowing air. Condensation, gas changes into liquid. So these are the match the following. Let's go to more ahead, that is the choose the correct options. One kind of MCQs. Let's see, the first one is threshing is used to separate D. Grains from stalks. Which of the following methods is used to separate stones from grains? The correct answer is hand picking. Which of the following methods can be used to separate the mixture of sand and water? Filtration. What are solid particles that settle down during sedimentation called sediments? Which of the following methods can be used to separate a mixture of salt and water? This process is called evaporation. The size of the holes of the filtering device should be dash as compared to particles of the insoluble solid for filtration. Answer is smaller. The process of separating insoluble solid suspended in a liquid by allowing them to settle down is called sedimentation. A solution in which no more solute can be dissolved is called a saturated solution. Which of the following will dissolve highest amount of salt? The correct answer is C. A glass of hot water. Which of the following is soluble in water? The correct answer is sugar. So these are the MCQs. In that textbook you have to just tick or underline in the correct options. Let's go to more ahead. In next question is give one word of the following. The first one is a machine that reaps, threshes and cleans the crop. Answer is combine harvesters. The method used to separate chaff from the grains by wind and blowing air is called winnowing. The process by which an insoluble solid is separated from a liquid by passing the mixture through a filtering device is called filtration. The process of pouring out the clear upper liquid without disturbing the sediments is called decantation. The process in which a liquid changes into gas. This process is called evaporation. So these are the one words. Place is already given in your textbook. You write the answer in that. Now we are going in question answer. Very short and long. So from here you have to write the answer in your FNB, and before writing the very short and short question answer you have to write key terms. Short answer type questions. Let's see, the first one is differentiate between threshing and winnowing. That you have learned in method of separation. Four common methods are there: hand picking, sieving, threshing and winnowing. So here we have to learn threshing and winnowing. Let's see the first, threshing. Threshing, the process of beating harvested crops to separate the grains from the stalks is called threshing. It is used to separate stalks from grains. Here the two different points are there. Now winnowing. Winnowing, the method is used to separate chaff from the grains by wind or blowing air is called winnowing. It is used to separate chaff from grains. So here the two processes are there, threshing and winnowing. Let's see, the next question is, give an example where hand picking is used for separation. In many places. We can give any examples. Remove small stone from rice grains is done through a hand picking. Even in vegetables, if you don't want unwanted chilies, that is also you can pick out from your hand. Or a one dish in that you want to separate a smaller size or bigger size, that is also can done. Next question is, what is sieving? Give an example where this method is used. Sieving is a process of separating components of a mixture that are different size. Sieving is a process of separating components of a mixture that are different size. Sieving is used to separate pebbles and stones from a sand at construction site. Sieving is used to separate pebbles and stones from sand at construction site. The stone and pebbles present in mixture remain in the sieve and the fine sand particles passes through the holes of the sieve. Define sediments and supernatant with an example. So let's see first what is sediments. The solid particles that settle down during sedimentation are called sediments. I repeat, the solid particles that settle down during sedimentation are called sediments. The liquid above the sediment is called supernatant. The liquid above the sediments is called a supernatant. In a mixture of sand and water, sand is the sediments and water is the supernatant. Let's see, the next question is, define solute, solvent and solution with an example of each. The substances that dissolves is called the solute. For example, sugar and salt. The substances in which the solute dissolve is called the solvent. For example, water. Water is universal solvent because water is useful in many laboratories and scientists, they are doing practice or researches with the water. They are doing many experiments and the good or universal solvent is water. The resulting mixture is called solution. The resulting mixture is called the solution. For example, salt solution. If we are adding sugar in water, so sugar is solute, solvent is water, and the result, that is sugar solution. Let's see the next question. How salt is prepared from the seawater? Easily we can give the one word answer, by the process of evaporation, but we have to explain the answer. Seawater is salt dissolved in it. To obtain salt, seawater is collected in shallow pit and allowed to stand. Sun's heat evaporates the water. Salt which is left behind is collected and purified for consumptions. Long question answer. Especially here you have to understand, dear kids, the very small question having the big answer with many points. So write the answer with point wise. Here also I done for you many different types of colors, if the different colors having the different points, so easily you can understand from where is the new point is starting. New points you have to write in new line, and when you are writing a new point, leave one line also. Let's start. Our first question is, when is separation of substances necessary? Name 4 method is used to separate solid substances. When the chapter explanation, we have learned method of separation. In that we have learned 4 methods: hand picking, threshing, winnowing and sieving. But when is the separation of substances necessary? Answer. Separation is necessary when we need to remove unwanted things. Separation is necessary when we need to remove unwanted things. 4 methods used to separate solid substances are: first is sieving. If the components of a mixture are different size, they can be separated by sieving. Next is threshing. Grains can be separated from their stalks by the process of beating harvested crops, called threshing. Winnowing. The mixture of chaff and grains can be separated by wind or blowing air. This process is called winnowing. I repeat, the mixture of chaff and grains can be separated by wind or blowing air. This process is called winnowing. And the last, fourth is hand picking. Unwanted materials can also be picked out of the mixture. This process is called hand picking. Let's see, the next question is, describe 2 different methods which can be used to separate mixture of sand and water. Also draw well labeled diagram. Diagram you have to draw from textbook of sedimentation and decantation process. Diagram is given that you have to draw. Let's see the answer. A mixture of sand and water can be separated by sedimentation and decantation. A mixture of sand and water can be separated by sedimentation and decantation, and by filtration also can be separated. The mixture is left undisturbed for some time. Sand, being heavier, settles down and water is poured out into a separate container. The mixture of sand and water can also be separated by filtration. For this, the sand and water mixture need to be poured into a funnel and into a conical flask. The insoluble sand will be retained in the filter paper and the water passes through the filter paper into the flask. Let's see, the next question is, how can we dissolve extra sugar in the saturated solution of sugar? Discuss the factors that can speed up the solubility of a solute in a solvent. Let's see, the answer is, we can dissolve extra sugar in a saturated solution of a sugar by the following three methods. First is heating. We can increase the solubility of a solute by heating the solution. The quantity of a substances that can dissolve in hot water is much more as compared to that in cold water. I repeat, we can increase the solubility of a solute by heating the solution. The quantity of a substances that can dissolve in hot water is much more as compared to that in cold water. Another process is stirring. Solute dissolves faster when the solution is stirred. We can observe this by taking 2 glasses of water and adding spoonful of sugar to each glass. Then we keep one glass undisturbed and stir the other. Another method is solute in powdered form. Solute in powdered form dissolves faster. We can observe this by taking 2 glasses of water and adding a whole sugar cubes in one glass and powdered or crushed sugar cube in other glass. So, dear friends and my dear students, here this our exercise part is over. Write very carefully and understand and repeat it again and continue reading. Thank you.